everyone. Welcome to another live IG Live here at Study in the USA. And this morning we have a very interesting discussion as representative from Framingham State University will be joining us. So please let us know where you're coming from, where you're watching from. Okay, let me see if our friends from FSU are here. Okay, so Maria is already here. Okay.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hi, Eloisa. Hello, Maria.
Hello, Maria. Hello, Rebecca.
Maria, I think your camera, you need to turn your camera. Maria's outside showing you our beautiful campus. There you go. And your camera needs to go that direction. Yeah. Hi. And I'm in the office, in the boring office with the pipes, but we're really happy to be with Study in the USA and to be welcoming students, potential students from around the world. It's great.
Okay, so I think some of our followers are already here, so maybe we can start with a short introduction. So maybe we start with Rebecca, if you want to have a short introduction about yourself and your school.
Absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Rebecca Hawks Stanley, and I am the director of the English language programs of the academic English language programs of Framingham State. We have regular ESL courses for community members, and then we have academic English language programs for people who are pursuing degrees or really want to improve their English at a serious, strenuous pace so that they can improve their chances in the job market or other opportunities that may be in front of them. So I've been at Framingham State University for 10 years now, and I know it well, and I love this place. We're so close to Boston. It's just a train ride into Boston, and we have a beautiful, as you can see with Maria Keles is our international student advisor, and you can see our beautiful campus behind her. That's just a little section of the campus, but yeah, it's a wonderful experience. We have about between 5,000 and 6,000 students at Framingham State. It's a small school, but it's a very significant university in that we were the very first teachers training school in the United States to train teachers to educate people. As a result of that, the students now, that was, in the 1800s, but now, a couple hundred years later, we are still holding true to the values of really excellent education. And when I came here 10 years ago, that was the number one priority, is to make this into a really viable, really good quality educational experience for our students who come from all over the world. And we usually have in just our learning English here, we usually have about 200 to 300 students per year. Before the pandemic, we had 300. Now it's a little bit less. We hope to increase the number, though. We hope that we can provide this opportunity for more students. And they come from all over the world. We usually have students representing, out of that 300, they would represent like 20 to 30 different countries that they come from. So they're all together in classes so that it becomes a very international experience for people who study here. Maybe Maria would like to say something more.
Yeah. Hi. So my name is Maria Quilis. I'm the International Student Advisor at Framingham State University. And I'm originally from Madrid, Spain. So I really understand when international students comes to a new country for the first time. To help you guys before you are coming here to the USA with any questions you may have. While you are here with us on campus to help you to get immersed in the American culture and to celebrate any achievement you may get with us here. So all I can say here is that instructor staff are very involved with the students, and I'm sure you are going to get a great time with us.
And you should also tell them, Maria, you were a student with us as well. So
of course. I
she's
mean, yeah. So I have been living 12 years in the United States, and my main goal when I arrived here is just to get a job and to work here. It was challenging. I took classes here at FSU, and I got the job with the English language programs, which I'm so grateful about that. Yeah. Thank you, Rebecca.
Yeah, and I want you to know that your signal, your Wi-Fi signal is a little weak where you are, so you might need to move, just so you know. Maybe she didn't hear me.
Okay.
So thanks, Eloisa. We can continue.
Okay, so it's really great to know what to expect if you go to Framingham and have your education there, because as we all know, communication is really important to survive and to succeed in this very competitive world right now.
Yeah.
So as we move forward, there are a few questions that we want to ask you. So maybe we can go ahead on those questions, because I know that a lot of our followers or aspiring students are also interested to know more about your school. Where are you located?
The location is 20 miles west. So Boston is a world-class city, a very famous American city located on the eastern seaboard in Massachusetts. So it's north of New York. It takes about 4 hours to drive between New York and Boston. So we're north of New York and in a really beautiful area. And then 20 miles west, I don't know how much that is in kilometers, but 20 miles west of Boston is a beautiful old New England town called Framingham. And Framingham was a very significant town in the history of Massachusetts and in the history of the United States. And I already mentioned the significance of the school for training teachers. It was really one of the first schools in the entire world to train teachers for the benefit of students. So our goal really is to make sure that education is equitable and that it's of a really high quality for every person who studies here.
Oh, that's great, because you're helping not only the students for themselves, but you're also helping teachers, educators.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly right. So when I went to school a long time ago to become an educator, it was really important that we learned how, not just because we could speak and read and write English ourselves to teach, but we really learned about the development of the second language inside an adult learner's mind and the best techniques to use to teach them so that they could advance more quickly in the process of learning. And it's a little bit of, we wish they could stay with us longer, but our job is to get them through as quickly as they possibly can to learn these skills with language, because as you're probably aware, English is the lingua franca, it's the language of science, it's the language of opportunity around the world. So that's how I see my mission, as helping students achieve those goals for their lives.
That's very noble. So another question here, and we know that a lot of our followers are interested, wanting to know what are the programs that you are offering in your school?
Well, we have 35 different majors that people can study at Framingham State. So Maria and I work with people, international students who are coming here to study English, and then they could go into business or nursing. Nursing is a really popular program here. As a group that I've been working with is sustainability and our science program, and they are extremely interested in having students that are prepared well to be able to succeed in their programs. But like I said, there are 35 plus different programs here that are undergraduate. And maybe, do I need to explain what is the difference between undergraduate study and graduate study? Would that be helpful?
Sure. Yeah,
okay.
definitely.
Undergraduate study is in the United States, it's 4 years of university study. It's the first 4 years of university study. And then graduate study is the study that you do after the first 4 years. That's how you earn a baccalaureate degree, when you finish that first 4 years. So it generally starts with the first 2 years. There are a lot of required courses. And some of those courses that are required are having to do with, of course, math, but also a lot of it is language, because your use of language, your ability with language is so critical to the rest of your success. You need to learn how to read, write, and speak English in such a way that you are part of an interactive learning environment in a classroom. That's what distinguishes American education, is that students come here and students join a classroom, but it's really a learning environment where everybody learns from each other and you progress together. It's not just sitting there taking notes from a professor in the United States. It's a little different. At least it here is that way here at Framingham State. And then if a person, after they earn their 4-year degree, which is a huge accomplishment, after they do that, a lot of people go on to graduate studies, and then they can get what's called a graduate degree after approximately 2 years, depending on the program. And then sometimes they go on for a doctorate degree. But that's the process of education.
Yeah. So
you mentioned a while back. I'm sorry. You go ahead, Maria.
Sorry, Eloisa. I think it would be great, Rebecca, if you can introduce our audience to our English language programs. We have wonderful programs, so it would be great if they can just have a hint of what is our programs about.
Yes.
Sure.
Rebecca mentioned a while back the importance of English language. And we wanted to know how can you differentiate the program that you're offering, the English language program that FSU is offering, from the programs offering by the other schools or universities?
Well, part of what makes Framingham State unique is that we're very invested in having a successful English language program. It goes back to what I originally talked about, the goals and the mission of the school, which is to improve the lives of people through education. So we know that in order to do well in education, a foundation in language is really critical. It's not, maybe people have the experience that if any of your listeners have visited the United States, you think, okay, I've been studying English for 7 years. I think I'm going to go there and be able to communicate with people. And just like I had the experience when I went to Italy, I couldn't understand anything, and I had been studying. I couldn't, it takes a while to get adjusted, and everything is a little different out of the classroom outside the United States. So we take people, if they've never studied English before, or if they've been studying their whole lives, and they realize that in order to get a PhD or a doctoral program, and in order to get into that, they really need a stronger foundation in language. So we assess the needs of people when they come. I hope this is answering your questions, Maria, that you had in mind. We assess the needs of people, and then we put them into programs that are intensive, You have to study 7.5 hours a week in each class. That is called a morning class or a core class. So it's 7.5 hours a week for reading, writing, grammar, 7.5 hours a week for listening and speaking. And then you have a focus or an afternoon class. And this fulfills the obligation that you have with immigration for getting a student visa if you want to come here. So that's why we have it structured that way. This approach we use is called the communicative learning method, and it takes the language that students are already producing, what they already know, and it helps build on that and take them to the next level of learning. And as I said, you know, our teachers, maybe I didn't say this, but we have some of the best educated English teachers around. And that's because we're close to Boston, and Boston is a very highly educated area. This is the home of Harvard, MIT, some of the best schools in the world are located here. So that is one thing I've enjoyed about being the director of this program. I never have trouble finding well-educated teachers to teach for us. So, and they bring that special extra effort and extra knowledge and understanding into the classroom. So to review what I just said, you can study English with us and have it be very effective if you've never studied English before. And if you're already an advanced speaker or writer, but you just want to get more fully grounded, we can take you there and help make sure that you get aligned with the educational program that you want to go into. So, for example, if you want to go into engineering, you still have to have what a lot of people call soft skills, the communication skills. I call these skills hard. I say the soft skills are very hard because that's what I teach, and I know how much effort it takes for students. We also help teach presentation skills. We teach advanced pronunciation so that students can make sure that their ability to speak is very understandable. Whatever it is that is a challenge, we identify that and we help the student move beyond that, and also try to make it just a lot of fun and interesting as they go through school. And I think most of our students, if you look at some of the testimonials we have on our website, you know, they make my heart beat because that we're achieving our goal. We're doing what we really set out to do to help people learn and to make their lives successful. Again, that's the goal.
So I read here something about intensive English program, the Bridge University and Professional Success Program, and also the other one is Pathways Degree Program. So can you tell us the difference between these three programs that we have here?
Well, when a person is at that advanced level and maybe they've been studying with us, this question I get a lot. How long will I need to study with you to become proficient in English, or to get a high enough score on the TOEFL exam or the IELTS to get into university? And the answer is it depends on what language background you have before you come. It depends on how, frankly, how hard you work at it. And it depends on what your aptitude is for this and how serious you want to take this. So, but when you reach an advanced level, by the way, it takes about 2 years. If you start from a beginning level, it takes about 2 years to become proficient in English so that you could go to a graduate program or something like that. So when you get to the advanced level, we have options for you where we say, what are your goals? What do you want to achieve? And we have designed programs such as the Bridge to University and Professional Success so that you take a class at the university. So for instance, last semester we had a young woman who was, she was a psychologist, a practicing psychologist, social worker, psychologist in her country. She wanted to go to graduate school in the United States. And so she came to us at already an advanced level. So we started her, she tested at an advanced level, but advanced doesn't mean you're ready to get into the university. She studied with us for a year. The first semester, which is about 3 to 4 months, she was in our regular advanced classes. The second semester, another 3 to 4 months, she was part of the bridge program, and she took a class in psychology in the undergraduate program. Even though she already had a degree in her country, she took that because you're learning it. You're learning how to write papers, you're learning how to interact with students, all those things that we talked about that are so important for success in school. So she took that class. At the same time, she continued taking what we call a transitions course. And the transitions course teaches students how to research, how to write really good papers. We teach tricks, we teach technique of how to do this, so it's not such a daunting task. And then we support them in learning how to correct their own mistakes, learning how to fix the struggles that they're having. And also at the same time, she's taking courses in, taking that psychology class at the university. And by the way, she scored an A, which is the highest score you can score in the psychology class. And she passed her transitions class with flying colors. She did a really good job with all of that because she worked hard.
Oh, thinking about that, I wish we have that here in our country, because that will be really helpful when you do your thesis. Yeah.
It's exactly it's exactly what we have. That's exactly what we do in the transitions classes. Sometimes there are professional people in there that don't want to write a thesis, but they have to write business papers and reports.
Yes.
And so, but if I had my way and I was just focusing on people who are academically oriented, definitely we would teach you how to write a thesis. It's something I've done myself and our teachers have done, so we're able to support that and help that.
That's great. So I believe there are some comments on the comment section saying that this is what they need. This program is what they need. So I believe that it will be helpful for them to know the tuition fee for AELP. So can you give us information about that?
Yeah, I'm going to let Maria talk. Do you have that with you handy, Maria?
Yes, I have it here. So as everybody know, when you are an F1 visa student, you must at least enroll in 18 hours of English study. Okay, so the tuition for one semester here in the United States is 13 weeks. Okay, and it's $3,580. Okay, so this can be paid at once, or you can pay it monthly. So it's more comfortable for students just doing that. Yeah.
Just to make sure everybody got that, you can type it in it was a full time of 18 hours is $3,580. And that's for one semester. So usually people take 2 semesters. So it's about $7,000 to $8,000 to go to school for a full year, which is really inexpensive compared to other schools.
That's correct. So, if you can give us some background, if I want to have or want to have an F1 visa, where do I start the process?
I think Maria posted. If you have questions, to email us at ESL. That's an English E, so it's the round one, E, A, B, C, D, E, ESL at framingham.edu, edu like education, ESL at framingham.edu. And I think it's already in the comment box, but she could probably put it in again. When you email us there, then we'll connect you with our website and the international student information. And then I'll just tell you, you have to, this is for any school that you want to go to. This isn't just us. You have to do 2 things. One is apply for an I-20. An I-20 is a document that says that the school accepts you. And we accept everyone who's not a native English speaker, so it's not difficult to get into our program. And then you have to show proof of your your ability to pay. This is an immigration regulation, and it is $24,000 for the year. You have to show that you have on deposit somewhere $24,000 in US funds. So we can send you the link that gives you the original document to, or excuse me, the link that will lead you to the documents that you need to fill out. And you apply through our Office of International Education. And once you get the I-20, then you can apply for your visa in your country. And Maria and I were just talking about this. Right now, the world is unexpected. We don't know what the expectation is for how long it takes people to get a visa. Some can get it very quickly, and some it takes more time. So if you're interested in this and you want to do it, I would get started right away. And you can, fall semester starts September 7th. That's the first day of classes, September 7. And then we started next semester in spring. Spring in the United States, in northern United States, starts in January. That doesn't make much sense, but that's, we call that our spring semester because it goes through March.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe for our audience who are interested to know more about how to start their process or application process at FSU, you can drop your questions on the comment section, and we will reach out to you after this live. Or you can also DM us, and we will send you the links that Maria will provide later. Maybe we can do that. So as we all know, he said a while back, Rebecca, that the world is changing. So no matter how prepared you are for the students to go to the U.S., there is still some challenges, struggles. So can you share some strategies or recommendation to international students how to cope more effectively with their transition?
You know, since Maria is the international student advisor, she's probably, she really is on the ground working with students and stays in touch with them. And that's probably, I'm going to say that's probably the most important thing from my position is we want to make sure that people have connection with us. And that's one of the things that distinguishes our school is that people do have connections with our teachers, with me, with people like Maria and other people who work for us. So whatever questions they have, whatever needs they have, we can become aware of it and step in and help them to take care of those. But go ahead and share some of the things that you think would be helpful to answer her question, Maria. Did you hear what the question was, Maria?
Normally what we just, yes, tell to the students, they can join clubs and activities here at FSU. There are a lot of clubs and activities. I mean, there is an outing club if you like to hike, to skiing. So this is an amazing club you can join. They meet every Wednesday, a Zoom meeting, which is great for international students to get really involved with them. You have a math club, a comic book club. There are a lot of clubs you can join. And also, what I always suggest is just in class, in pottery classes, so you also just get immersed with other people outside of the campus. Also, if you have an advanced English level, it's good to try to find a job here on campus, okay? So this will help you with the tuition and also will get you to get more immersed in the culture. So that are some of the tips I give normally.
It's good that you mentioned that, Marie. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
But it's good that you mentioned that because we get a lot of questions about that. If students are allowed to work while studying. So you meant is that only for the advanced student?
Well, we recommend advanced students because they have some English skills, but you can just apply if you don't have these advanced skills, but we don't know the type of job you can get. So we had a student here that he didn't have an advanced level, and he got a job like helping with some mobility or chairs or things. So I think depends. I mean, we will recommend advanced level is better. Yeah. I don't know, Rebecca.
Okay. You want to add something?
That no, it's your connection is slow, and I'm sorry about mine got paused somehow, but yeah.
It's
So
okay.
these things happen, right? But it is pretty amazing that we can join people from all around the world, and so I'm still I really appreciate that people are coming and listening in and can take advantage of opportunities here. So we hope that we get to hear from people and that they will contact us at esl@framingham.edu. And if this is not the time for you, but you think maybe down the road in a couple of years, this is really what I want to do, then please go ahead and submit your information and or just email us. All you have to do is contact us, and then we'll have you in the files, and we'll send periodically. We'll send information updating when a new session is starting or different kinds of things. And we're doing more social media now, so you can reach out to us and contact us at any time.
Yeah, that's why studying the USA is here to help you with that.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so we have a question here from one of our audience, and I think this is a high school student, so maybe he's planning to study in the US, but he's also asking about scholarship. So is there any scholarship available in FSU if they want to study there?
Unfortunately, as an international student, there is not any scholarship available. It's really difficult to find scholarships at schools. Possibly at state schools, because this is a Framingham State University. So if a person couldn't go to school because of the cost, I would check into private schools, and you would just have to, specifically when you go to a school and you want to inquire about scholarships, when you're searching in your Google search, you want to search scholarships for international students specifically, because it's a different classification, a different category, and different funds may be available at some of the private universities.
Okay, so at least that is clear that currently there is no scholarship available for international student, but the tuition fee at SFU FSU is very low compared to other universities. So, and if you have an opportunity to work, you can get there.
Right. It's if you got to think that $7,000 is stretched out over the whole time that you're here. So, that's just the tuition and fees for going to school, then of course you'd have to have living expenses on top of that. That's what the additional $24,000 that you need to show that you have. So, you'd have to offset that with the living expenses that you would have and the value of education. What I tell the students that are here, when you become bilingual in multiple languages, your opportunities for making income increase hundredfold. You have so many more opportunities because we're not just giving you basic English skills. If you stick with a program, an intensive English language program, you're going to become proficient in English. So you'll become very valuable to whatever company you work for or whatever kind of program you go into with the rest of your life, even if it's public service. To be able to interact in English, that's a very highly prized skill. So it's really worth a family or a person investing in that for themselves.
Yeah. So the benefits totally outweighs the cost. All
Yes.
right.
Totally.
And
Okay.
then some. I think it goes way beyond the cost. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Bueno.
So I think we're on the last question here. If you have to share three things why the academic English language program at FSU are special. So what is something special about the program that you are offering?
I'm really curious of how Maria would answer this. For me, um, I'll say it's that no matter what the situation is, we're there for you. So some schools you go to, you kind of get dropped off and you have to figure it all out. But here we're it's just the way, you know, like I said, I came here 10 years ago and we were building, I was the very first full-time director they ever had. So I started building a program that was, I'd been working at other schools, many other schools. And I started building a program here that said, this is what we need to do for people so that they can succeed in their lives. We need to fill in the gaps so people are not just having to figure it all out on their own. It's so stressful to go to school, double stressful to go to a foreign country and go to school. So we want to make sure that the experience is really valuable and that we eliminate any roadblocks or confusions, and we stay in communication with people, and no matter what the situation, we're here. So that's probably the top most important thing. The second thing is our teachers. Like I said, they're very highly educated, but we have requirements that every teacher has to have completed a graduate degree, which is some schools don't require that. They have less education, but ours, as I said, we're lucky. They're highly educated. And they also are educated in the specialty of what we call second language acquisition. So that's how you acquire a second language. It's different than learning a first language. It's different than learning any other subject. So it makes it a really much more valuable educational experience. And the third thing I would say would be the people like Maria that come in and they just make the life. We have staff that really cares about our students and they make it interesting, and also I think that there are so many people from around the world that are here. It's really cool, isn't it, Maria? It's like United Nations every day, said one of our students. I feel like I'm in the United Nations every single day. So
Totally. Totally. It's so joyful. Yes, I'm with Rebecca. It's excellence and commitment with the students. I mean, we have a caring and personalized approach. I mean, it's wonderful here, really. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But it's not easy. Don't get the idea it's easy. You know, it's we want to make sure that when you complete our program that you really have what you need to do to be successful. So it's a stretch. It's work. Good work.
So hearing everything or the discussion that we had today, actually it's not only three things that are special about the program and the school, the FSU, because earlier you mentioned about the location, so it is very strategically located.
Oh yes,
and
yeah.
And talking to Maria twice, I can sense that she's really willing to help. So, and talking to Rebecca, sharing stories 10 years ago, and that FSCs remain as stay true to their mission. So, I think it is more than enough. Yeah. FSU and their program is really special. So before we end this this Instagram live, maybe you want to share a final advice to every aspiring international student who are planning to apply to your school. Can we start with you, Maria, and then Rebecca, so you can end the
Okay.
discussion.
Yes, thank you, Eloisa. Bueno, first of all, thank you to all the people that have joined us today here. And I would say that this is full of challenges, okay? But I think is worth it. You have to see it like an adventure, okay? And it's a memory for the rest of your life. I think it's an opportunity. Is what I will just share with everybody from here.
Mm-hmm. So my word of advice for you, when you are at a place where you need to take the next step in your life, you have options. And one of those options is just to sit back and not do anything and just say, oh, I wish I would have done that. But I'm not a person who's done that. And I'm so grateful that I didn't. I had people who pushed me forward, who said, take the risk, take the opportunity that's out there, do what you need to do to make your life fit the way that you desire it to be. So hold fast to your dreams is another way to do that. We say hold fast to your dreams means just hold on to them like you're clutching a balloon, and hold it and say, that's the direction I'm going to go. This is a crazy world right now. I'm just, my heart goes out to absolutely everyone around the world for the struggles that we've all gone through. But this is something really positive. This is a way to take advantage of an opportunity now so that in the future things will get better for you, yourself, and your family, and your future, whatever your future might hold, that it will be improved. And we will help you make that successful.
Okay, thank you very much for that advice. It's really wonderful to hear that from you, Rebecca. So there you go, to all our followers, to all our audience. If you have any questions about FSU, if you have any questions about the admission process, the application process, you can send us a message in the inbox, or you can leave your question on the comment section, and we will get in touch with you. And we will send you the links, the email address where you can reach Maria and Rebecca if you have other questions that we don't address in this live session. They are so accommodating. They will answer your questions. So that's it. I think we already covered everything this morning or afternoon on your side. But we want to thank you for your time, Rebecca, Maria. It's very nice talking to you and
Thank you so
having this
much.
Thank you
conversation.
so much.
Thank you so much,
Same.
Eloisa, and to everybody who came. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. It was wonderful.
Okay,
God bless.
so
It was wonderful.
we end it
Bye-bye.
here. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.